Shri Gurubhyo Namah Harihi Om Dhyayamo Dhavalavagunthanavatim Tejomayim Naishtikim Snigdhapangavilokinim Bhagavatim Mandasmitashrimukhi Vatsalyamritavarshiniim Sumadhuram Sankirtanalapiniim Shyamangim Madhusiktasuktim Amritahanandatmikam Ishwarim Om Amriteshwaryai Namah Om Amriteshwaryai Namah Om Amriteshwaryai Namah. Om Amriteshwaryai Namah. There was a slight technical issue which we had to take care of. That's why the Arati started a little late and we are starting the discussion a few minutes later than we start usual. Any case, I think it's kind of taken care of. Hopefully, we don't have more of technical issues through the session today. In any case, coming back to our discussion of Hanuman Chalisa, the last week we discussed verses 8, 9, and 10. We were discussing about the importance of the name of the divine and the constant remembrance of the divine, relating everything that we do with the divine. And that was the 8th verse, and the 9th and the 10th were talking about Lord Hanuman's supernatural abilities to become the most insignificant of the insignificant, the most significant of the significant, one who could go to the smallest of the level and who could go to the biggest of the levels. And that's the flexibility as spiritual aspirants that we need to have. Today, we'll discuss verses 11, 12, and 13. The three verses are kind of related, so we'll go over the three verses first, the pronunciation and the overall meaning, and then we will discuss them more elaborately. So the 11th, 12th and 13th, the 11th verse goes as Laya Sanjeevan Lakhan Jiyai Shri Raghubir Harashi Urilai. The 12th verse Raghupati Kinhi Bahat Badhai Tuma Mama Priya Bharata Hi Samabhai. And the 13th verse goes as Sahas Badan Tumharo Jas Gave As Kahi Shripati Kanth Lagave. So we'll discuss these three verses today. So let's go through the pronunciation. We will pronounce them in 4 parts each. I will pronounce it first. Please respond after me. So the 11th verse. Laya Sanjeevan. Laya Sanjeevan. Lakhan Jiyai. Lakhan Jiyai. Shri Raghubir. Shri Raghubir. Harashi Urlai. Harashi Urlai. We'll do it all together once. Please repeat after me. Laya Sanjeevan Lakhan Jiyai Shri Raghuvir Harashi Urlai. Please repeat. Laya Sanjeevan Lakhan Jiyai Shri Raghubir Harashi Urlai. The 12th verse. Raghupati Kinhi So we'll do it in 4 parts. Please respond after me. Raghupati kinhi, Raghupati kinhi, बहुत बढ़ाई, बहुत बढ़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय, तुम मम प्रिय, भरत सम भाई, भरत सम भाई. In some cases, they say Bharata hi samabhai. So there is a hi after the Bharata. Bharata hi samabhai. Because that's when it exactly comes in meter, when we chant it or sing it. So Bharata hi samabhai. Bharata hi samabhai. So I'll pronounce it together, all together once, and please respond after me. रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय भरत ही सम भाई. रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बढ़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय भरत ही सम भाई. 13th verse. Sahas badan. So again a pointer here. Some pronounce it as sahasra. There is a R. Some pronounce it as S-A-H-A-S-A without a R. Again, like I had mentioned, because it's a regional dialect, there aren't hard and fast rules, so there's a lot of fluidity in terms of pronunciation. So even if you say sahas or sahasra, both are same. I guess sahas would be much easier for us to pronounce. So sahas vadan, sahas vadan, tumharo jas gavai. Again, J and Y can interchange, so it is yes or jas. Both are fine. Tumharo jas gavai. Tumharo jas gavai. As kahi Shripati. As kahi Shripati. Kantha lagavai. Kantha lagavai. So we'll do it together. Please respond after me. Sahas vadan tumharo jas gavai. As kahi Shripati kantha lagavai. Sahas vadan tumharo jas gavai. As kahi Shripati kantha lagavai. So all these three verses are kind of related. They are pertaining to the same or one incident that happened as part of Ramayana. So what does the first verse say? Laya Sanjeevana. One who brought the Sanjeevani. Sanjeevani is a medicinal herb that was to be brought. Lakhan ji aaye. Lakhan referring to Lakshmana, Lord Rama's brother. Ji aaye, one who could be brought back to life because Hanuman fetched the Sanjeevani herb. Shri Raghubir. Shri Raghubir is referring to Lord Rama. Raghubir, one who was the most courageous warrior in the Raghu dynasty. So Shri Raghubir, Shri Rama. Harashi, out of happiness, out of joy. Urulai, Ur, the heart or the chest. Lai, Urulai. So he brought Hanuman to his chest, or otherwise, in other words, one who hugged or embraced Hanuman in joy when he brought the herb which cured Lakshmana. And it didn't stop there. It goes on, where in the 12th verse he says, Raghupati kinhi bahat 12th verse, Raghupati keenhi bahut badhai. Raghupati, again, the lord of the Raghu dynasty, Lord Rama. Keenhi, he did what? Bahut, a lot. Badai, he praised, he showered a lot of praises upon Hanuman, saying what? Tum, you, mama, mine. So you are my priya, dear, dear or dearest. Bharat sam bhai. Bhai translates to brother. Like who? Bharata, my brother Bharata. Sam, equal to or like. So you are dear to me like my brother Bharata. So you are as dear to me like my brother Bharata. So in happiness, he hugs him, brings him to his chest, he showers upon him relentless praises, and he says, you are like or equal to my brother Bharata. And then he continues, Lord Rama says, Sahas badan tumharo jas gave. Sahas or sahasra translates to the number 1,000, or otherwise it just refers to innumerable or lot many. Vadan, face. So sahas vadan, 1,000 face. 1,000 face is usually referred to the serpent, 1,000-faced serpent called Adishesha, the Shesha Naga, Shesha, the serpent that Lord Vishnu is depicted to be lying on. So, or in literal terms, it could be just translated to as 1,000 mouths. 1,000 mouths will do what? Tumharo, your yash, your glory, gave. 1,000 mouths will sing your glory. Let 1,000 mouths, or let innumerable mouths sing your praise, praise you. As kahi, as likewise kahi, after being said, Shripati. Shripati, Lord Rama. Shripati is the name of Lord Vishnu, whose incarnation is Lord Rama. So Lord Rama saying so, Kanth lagave, Kanth, neck, lagave, thrusted you against his neck, or again, hugged you all the more tightly. So, what happened till now? In these 3 verses, Hanuman brings the life-saving herb Sanjeevani that saves Lakshmana's life, and seeing that, Lord Rama joyously pulls Hanuman towards his heart, his chest, in a embrace, and he says, and he showers upon him a lot of praises in the 12th verse, and then he says, you are like as dear to me like my brother Bharata. And then he goes on to say, let an innumerable number of mouths sing your praise for your deed. And saying so, he holds him against his neck. He gives him a tight hug or embrace. So that's what the 13th, 11th, 12th, and the 13th verse talk about. So like I had mentioned, today's discussion is based on the situation. It's situational. It's based on the war that is happening between Lord Rama and the monkey army on the Rama's side versus Ravana and the demon army on Ravana's side. So the war is going on, and Ravana, one by one, he brings into the war his powers or his strengths. So he brings his brother at one point of time. Eventually, he is bringing his son called Indrajit into the war now. And Indrajit is extremely capable. Indrajit, the term Indrajit basically means Indrajit. Indra is the lord of the demigods. He's the lord of the heavens. Jit, one who won. So one who won over Indra and won the heavens is what Indrajit basically means. So Ravana brings Indrajit, who was so capable that he even defeated Indra, the king of the gods. He defeated Indra. He's so capable. And he also has the name Meghanath. Meghanath, it translates to one who is the Lord of the sky. Or otherwise, Megha translates to the clouds. Nath, one who has the control over the clouds. Why did he get that name? Because Meghanath or Indrajit gets the boon from Brahma, wherein he could blend himself or camouflage himself with the clouds so that he can kind of create an illusion for his enemies when he's in a war. So suddenly he would disappear, again he would appear. So he would disappear, and the opponent would be searching for him, and then suddenly he would appear and attack the opponent. So he was very powerful with both these boons that he had, and he had innumerable number of other boons too. So at least these two boons, they acted against Lord Rama's army. So what happened? The very first day that Indrajit came into the war, he had this very powerful weapon called the Nagapasha Astra. Astra weapon, the Nagapasha, one who would get bound by snakes. So what happens? Indrajit is using the power of illusion, wherein he would appear, disappear, appear, disappear. So there is the opponent is always unsettled, looking for him, and he would suddenly attack them in a lightning fast speed. So what happens? Rama and Lakshmana get attacked by Indrajit with the Nagapasha weapon. Wherein what happens? Lord Rama and Lakshmana, like in the picture depicts, they get all bound by snakes, which through their venom and through their strength make the opponent or the person that is getting attacked disabled. So they become disabled by this weapon of Indrajit. But then luckily Lord Vishnu, whose incarnation is Lord Rama, Lord Vishnu's confidant is Garuda. Garuda translates to eagle. So the celestial eagle that carries Lord Vishnu around. The eagle comes to rescue, and eagles and snakes, we know, are not best of the friends. So eagle comes and rescues Rama and Lakshmana and frees them of all the snakes that bound them with their venom and with their strength. So Lord Rama and Lakshmana are free. So Indrajit thinks he won over them, and the war is almost over because Lord Rama and Lakshmana are disabled now. But then next day he finds out they are free. Now he gets into a duel with Lakshmana. Again Lakshmana is fighting him. Lakshmana is also very capable. But because of the illusionary power of Meghanath or Indrajit, Lakshmana is very unsettled, looking for him because he just disappears, appears. And using this power, what does he do? He attacks Lakshmana with a special weapon that he had, which he received from Lord Brahma, blessings from Lord Brahma. He attacks Lakshmana, and the arrow actually strikes Lakshmana in his chest, and Lakshmana falls down unconscious. And the power of this weapon is such that whoever gets struck will fall unconscious, and by the sunrise the next day would be no more, would die before the sunrise. And now Lakshmana is fallen on the ground, completely unconscious, knocked or rendered unconscious. And seeing this, what happens? The whole Vanara army, all the monkeys, they all get frightened, and they all get completely discouraged, and they all started running hither, thither. They just run. They start running everywhere. They start escaping. The whole morale of the army goes down. And that's when the role of Hanuman comes in. It seems Jambavan the bear comes in, and he sees the complete disarray of the army. All the monkeys running here and there, and Lakshmana fallen down. And Jambavan says, the only person who can save us in such situation is Hanuman. Who? So his first question, as per Tulsidas Ramayana, is his first question was, is Hanuman okay? Lakshmana is fallen, I understand that, but is Hanuman okay? If Hanuman is okay, everything will be fine. And he somehow gets hold of Hanuman. And now Hanuman and Lakshmana is brought to Rama, and now they are thinking of what should be done. And Rama instructs Hanuman to fetch Sushena. Sushena is a physician who could come and cure Lakshmana. So Hanuman brings Sushena. And in some versions of the story, they say Hanuman was in such a haste and so much love for Lakshmana that rather than bringing Sushena, he uproots his whole house and brings the house to to where Lakshmana was fallen unconscious. And then Sushena comes and he tries to revive Lakshmana, and he says, this is not an ordinary weapon, this is a deadly weapon. And Lakshmana could only be cured by a special herb called Mrita Sanjeevani. Mrita basically translates to dead, one who is dead. Mrita, something that is dead. Sanjeevani, Jeevan basically means life. Sanjeevani, a good life, or life in good sense. So Mrita Sanjeevani is a herb that would bring back life to one who is very badly injured, or one who is at the cusp of death. So he says we need Mrita Sanjeevani, but the only challenge is, where is Mrita Sanjeevani available? It is available on a mountain up north, in north of India, in the Himalayas, in the Himalayan mountain range. So, and then the challenge is, the person who is injured, Lakshmana here, can survive only until sunrise. Once sun rises, he will be dead. That's the curse of the weapon. So the Mrita Sanjeevani has to be brought before sunrise, and no one was capable of doing so, except for one and only Hanuman, our hero. He is capable of doing that because he went across the Indian Ocean to Lanka looking for Sita Mata. Similarly, he had to go across the Indian Ocean and go all the way north of India to the Himalayan ranges. He needs to find the specific herb and bring it back. And Jambavan the bear exactly knew how to distinguish the herb from other plants, so he gives him specific instructions where to find the herb, how to recognize it, how to bring it back. And there were 4 herbs that were to be brought. One is Mrita Sanjeevani, which we just discussed, to bring back someone to life, one who is very badly hurt or one who is in the cusp of death. And the other one was Shailyakarini. Shailyakarini is a herb that helps quickly heal a wound that is created by a deadly weapon. So Shailyakarini was the second herb to be brought. The third one was Suvarnakarini. Suvarnakarini is to heal the skin from any wound that is created. And fourth, the Sandhani. Sandhani is the herb to heal a broken or a fractured bone. So Sushena, the physician, wanted all these 4 herbs, and Jambavan gives Hanuman the exact direction, exact instructions how to get the herb back. And Hanuman swings into action, gets onto air, flies all the way north, crossing the Indian Ocean, crossing southern India, central part of India. That's when he's so tired on his way that he sees a small hermitage where a sage is performing austerities along with his disciples. So Hanuman thinks, I should take a break. I'm so thirsty, I'm so famished, I'm so tired. Let me see if I can take a small break and get the blessings of the sage to help me with my endeavor of finding the herbs for Lakshmana and the army. Not just Lakshmana, many others were affected by the weapon. So he goes down and he sees the sage performing the austerities there, and the sage seemed to be very knowledgeable. Even before Hanuman could say something, the sage asked him, aren't you on your way to get the Mrita Sanjeevani herb? And Hanuman was dumbfounded. He was like, wow, such a knowledgeable person. And he says, I know your past, I know your present, I know your future. To get Mrita Sanjeevani, you need to be first purified both physically and mentally. So I will give you instructions to be mentally pure. Before that, you need to purify yourself physically. So there's a lake nearby, go and take a dip and come back, and I will give you the right instructions. Hanuman very willingly goes to the lake, takes a dip to bathe there, and as he is taking a dip, what happens? A crocodile comes and tries to attack him and kill him. But the crocodile is not aware of Hanuman's might. In just a jiffy, Hanuman puts an end to the crocodile. And the moment he puts an end to the crocodile, what happens? The crocodile transforms into a Apsara, a celestial being. And the Apsara says, I'm very sorry to have attacked you. I was under a curse wherein I had to become a crocodile, and the boon was that I would be freed only by a monkey. And you exactly did that. Thank you for relieving me of my curse. Most of these stories in the Indian tradition, wherein they say, oh, the divine or the Lord killed the Asura, is basically revealing or relieving them of their curse. So it's actually an act of mercy that they perform. But then the Apsara tells Hanuman, because you freed me from my curse, I am giving you a word of wisdom. The sage who sent you here is no sage. He is a demon. He is an Asura in disguise. So who was he? He was Asura called Kalanemi, who Ravana sent there to somehow stop Hanuman from getting the Sanjeevani herb. And Kalanemi happens to be the son of Maricha. If you remember the story that we discussed in the very first session or the second session of Ramayana, wherein Sita is all enamored or all attracted towards a golden deer and asks Lord Rama to go and fetch the deer. The deer was Kalanemi's father, Maricha in disguise, to somehow get Rama away from Sita. So Rama goes after the deer, and then Ravana abducts Sita. So Kalanemi is Maricha's son. So Hanuman comes back, and Kalanemi is all startled that Hanuman could actually come back alive, not being killed by the crocodile. But then Hanuman tells him, I know who you are, and serves him right, puts an end to Kalanemi, and he continues on his journey towards the Himalayas to get the herb. So the herb was supposed to be on a mountain called Dronagiri, the Drona mountain, Dronagiri. And when Hanuman gets there, he sees that the Dronagiri is full of very many herbs, so many herbs there that he is quite confused, or he's not sure which one exactly is the one that he needs to bring. And he's working, he's working on a time-sensitive project here, right? He needs to get back as soon as possible. So he needs to identify 4 herbs very specifically, and then make sure they are the right one, and then take them back. He has a long journey to go back, and he doesn't know what hurdles he would face on the way back. So he thinks, what should I do? Rather than wasting time looking for the exact herb, and what if I take the wrong herb back, then I have to come back, and maybe I will not have enough time to go back and forth. I will do one thing. I will just carry the whole mountain, the best solution, rather than finding one herb. I remember one of my programs a few years ago, we were missing a few cables. So we needed one specific cable, and one of the local devotees, he said, I can go to the nearby Best Buy and get the cable for you. So we had given him specific instructions, get this size cable, this is the shape, this is the name. He goes there, he gets all confused, he comes back with 5 or 6 cables. He said, I got all the cables so that you would get the right one, rest we'll return. It's fine. Similarly, Hanuman is confused with all these very, very many herbs. So he says, let me take the whole mountain back. And he uproots the mountain, holds it in his right hand, and takes it back to the next slide. He takes it back to the next slide. He takes it back to where Lakshmana is. He brings it back to Lanka. And it seems he also requests Surya Deva, the sun god, to be a little late the next day, it seems. And because he was good friends, he was Surya Deva's disciple. So he requests Surya Deva, please don't be in a hurry. But then that's a different story. Let's not get to that. But anyway, he made it in time back in Lanka, and the herb was used so as to revive Lakshmana. Lakshmana and all the other Vanaras, all the other members of the monkey army, they were all revived. And Lord Rama was so joyous, so grateful to Hanuman that he just embraced him in that moment, in that moment of joy. And that's what that is the scene the three verses are explaining. Lord Rama is so joyous that he comes and hugs Hanuman, and then he praises Hanuman for his deed that he had done most selflessly. It was not for him, but his effort to go out of way to help Lakshmana and the other monkey brothers. He went out of way to selflessly help them. And he says, you're so precious to me that you are like my brother, Bharata. And he again hugs him, holds him by his neck very tight, and he says, may you be praised by everyone for your deeds, for who you are. So that's what the three verses are pointing out. So that's the context in the three verses are conveying the message to us of that scene. So let's look into 2 or 3 aspects from spiritual point of view here. So one, it is said that Lord Rama just relentlessly praised Hanuman, just showered his praises upon Hanuman. It's rather one of the greatest blessings to be praised by the Guru or by the spiritual master or by the Lord. To be praised is a big thing, because a Guru would always hesitate in praising the disciple. Why? Because for a disciple, the biggest hurdle is ego. So once praises come forth, the ego will balloon up in the disciple. So the Guru would always be a little hesitant in praising the disciple. So if the disciple is not really prepared, the disciple doesn't have the ego under control, the Guru would always hesitate doing that. For an example, a story that I thought of when discussing this, or when I was thinking what to discuss. It's about a person who is looking for a guru. He comes across a very revered, renowned guru, and he tells the guru, "Can you please accept me as your disciple?" The guru says, "I can't just accept you as my disciple just like that. I need to know who you are. I need to know all that you have learned, and I need to know all that you don't. Only then can I accept you as my disciple. So do one thing. Do a write-up. Write all about all that you know. So write about all that you know and come back to me." So it seems the disciple took a year, because he knew so much. He took a year to write a series of books. So this is a story that Amma used to share, I remember, from long time back. So the disciple comes back after 1 year with a series of books telling, "These are all what I know. Now please accept me as your disciple." And the guru goes over them very quickly, skims through them, and he just puts them away as if he is least impressed. He says, "All these seems very, wordy and gibberish. Can you just make it a little more precise so that I can understand what you have written?" And the disciple is so disheartened. He says, "Okay, let me give it a try." Now, instead of 1 year, he takes 3 years and comes back, makes it into makes it much more precise and concised in the size of one book. Now the guru takes that one book, again skims through the page, very disinterested. He says, "Too wordy, too much, and all very disorganized. Can you just make a 5-page abstract of this?" And the disciple is all the more disheartened. He says, "Okay, let me give it a try." Now it takes him 10 more years, not 1, not 3. It takes 10 years to make it into 5 pages. and he brings. And the Guru again goes through them very, very much in a hurry, very evidently unimpressed. He says, you know, it's not, it's not clear at all what you know. Can you just make it into one page abstract and bring it back to me? And the disciple is again so disheartened. He goes back. Now he takes years and years and comes back with one page and gives it to the Guru. The Guru looks at it and he sees an empty page. And when he sees the empty page, he says, "Oh, yeah, now I understand about you. You can become my disciple." Similarly, the Guru would always look at how boastful we are, how egoistic we are, and Guru will always try to work against that. So, when Rama is praising Hanuman, it is going beyond that. It just shows Hanuman is under control of his, or he has ego under control. Talking about ego, I just remember my own experience a few years ago during the Europe tour. That particular tour in London, I remember, Swamiji wasn't in place, or Swamiji was visiting some other place, big Swamiji. So Swamiji, you all know, during Devi Bhava, Swamiji begins the bhajan session. He does the first session. And because Swamiji wasn't there, the first session was done by someone else, and then there was another session, and I was standing near Amma, and Amma just told me, Swamiji isn't here. Amma just doesn't feel fulfilled, or Amma just doesn't feel content enough. Can you go and sing? And I felt so proud. Amma is telling me she's feeling, incomplete. She's feeling not very content, and she's asking me to sing, telling Swamiji is missing. So quite a feat that I have achieved. And I was definitely, going down with a bloated ego. And I went down, adding to my ego. The session went quite well. So there were a set of satsangs that, you would be aware of how when Devi Bhava happens, we have a lot of different groups who would sing. They would all be scheduled one after the other. And there's very little time that each group gets. Now, because I am squeezed in for an hour and a half, maybe an hour probably, all of them had to be pushed away. Their time had to be reduced, and they were all pushed down the list. So all the more, because of me, others are getting pushed down. And then, for whatever reason, the bhajan session also went very well. All Devi Bhava songs, Mama Janani, and etc. Because Swamiji is not there, I thought, why not sing all those songs? And all those songs went quite well. And even the people who got pushed down the list, the local devotees, though they were a little upset after the session, they all came up to us and they said it was worth that our sessions got pushed down because the session went so well. So my ego bloated all the way more. And then the Swami or the Brahmachari who was standing next to Amma, he came up to me and he said, Amma kept praising you as you were singing, telling Amma feels so content. Amma feels so nice now, having heard you sing. And the ego is bloated all the more. It's just almost going to pull me up, being a big balloon. And then much later, I go to Amma to stand near Amma for translation and for the mantra that happens during Devi Bhava. And I'm expecting Amma to turn to me and say, wow, you sang, you had such an awesome session, I'm feeling much better. And Amma turns around and looks at me and says, I have such a severe headache, and this guy kept singing more and more songs. I have so much headache. This guy gave me a headache. That's what she told me when she met me. So, again, the Guru will always try. Amma told others something different, but to me, Amma made it a point, make sure my ego doesn't bloat up. So to me, she said, your session was a headache for me. It gave me a headache. So the Guru would always hesitate in unnecessarily praising the disciple. So in this context, what happens? Going beyond those norms, Lord Rama is not just praising Hanuman, but bahut badai, lot of praises, relentlessly praising Hanuman. So that just shows how Hanuman is prepared for that. Rama considers Hanuman who has ego under control. That's why he is, without hesitation, praising Hanuman. They say there are so many instances where Rama praises Hanuman, and especially there are three instances. One is when Hanuman goes to Lanka, finds Sita, and comes back. Rama is so happy that he hugs him and praises him. The second one was when they all come back after winning the war. They come back to Ayodhya, and Lord Rama is getting crowned as the king. We discussed that the last week. And Rama showers praises upon Hanuman. And Mother Sita gives her necklace to Hanuman, and Hanuman bites into it, breaks open the necklace, looking for Rama inside. We discussed that. So that is the second big situation where Lord Rama praises Hanuman. And third was when Lord Rama's sons, Lava and Kusha, twins, they were in a war, and Lava gets injured very badly, and there was the need for Sanjeevani. And Hanuman again goes, fetches Sanjeevani for Lava. And that's where another time where Lord Rama hugs Hanuman and praises him for his deed. So these are the three main things. So talking about praises, the Guru would seldom praise the disciple so as to keep the ego in check. But if the Guru is actually praising the disciple, that basically in this case shows that Hanuman is someone who has ego under control. That's why Rama doesn't hesitate in praising him. So that's about praising. The second one, Lord Rama is equating Hanuman to brother Bharata. He says, you're so special that you're like my brother, Bharata. So in this case, he says, you are as dear to me. Tuma mama priya Bharata hi samabhai. You are like, or you're equal to my brother Bharata, and you're so dear to me. Of course, the question comes, whenever this discussion happens, the question comes, Lakshmana is the brother who is always with Rama and serving him. Why didn't he call out, or why didn't he say, you are as precious to me as Lakshmana? Why did he take the name of the brother in Ayodhya who is ruling the kingdom on his behalf? Why is he calling out Bharata? And I feel the simple explanation could be, Rama definitely loved all his brothers equally. He was someone who was beyond likes and dislikes. He was a Purnavatara. He was an incarnation of Lord Vishnu. But, when Bharata met Lord Rama, if you remember the India map that we discussed about the journey of Rama in search of, in exile and then search of Sita, in somewhere in the northern part of India, in Chitrakuta, Bharata comes and meets Lord Rama to convince him, telling, my mother did a grave mistake. Please come back. Please disregard her misdeeds. And please come back, and you are the true ruler of Ayodhya. Lord Rama says, no, I need to respect what our father, whether rightly or wrongly, I need to respect what father has instructed me to do. So I will come back only after 14 years. So you should rule the kingdom. But Bharata says, I won't rule the kingdom. I will be your servant. So give me your paduka. Give me your holy sandals. I'll carry it on my head. I will place it on the throne, and you should rule the kingdom. I will rule on your behalf. I won't sit on the throne, rather your footwear, your paduka, your sandals would sit on the throne. That was the level of dedication he had. So what happens? Lord Rama has Lakshmana with him, which he loves dearly, but he constantly remembers Bharata for his selfless act. He says, I don't want the throne. I will still work for dharma. I will work on your behalf, but I'm away from you. Though I would have wished to be with you, I am making the sacrifice and I'm being away. So that's why Rama would constantly remember Bharata, it seems. As per many interpretations of Ramayana, they say Rama would constantly remember Bharata. Maybe that is the reason he says, you are dear to me like Bharata rather than Lakshmana. Now it's on a lighter note. The Swamis and the Brahmacharis, the brother monks in Amritapuri, we would sometimes joke, telling it's a blessing that you're away from Amma and not in Amritapuri. Why? Because when you're in Amritapuri, you hardly get to meet Amma. But when you are away, Amma constantly remembers you, talks to you, talks about you to someone, makes a phone call. So you get to talk to Amma more than us. So they sometimes tell us that. So, and similar thing happened in Faridabad. Few months ago when the hospital inauguration happened in Faridabad. I went there. The first few days, I decided not to go near Amma because I had an international travel because of COVID. I thought, let me be careful and not go near Amma in case I would transfer or give Amma the virus. So I didn't go near Amma. Couple of times when Amma was passing by, going to back to the room or coming to the stage, she would ask me. She'll call me close by and ask me, "Why didn't you come near Amma?" And I would say, it is because of COVID. I want Amma to be safe. And Amma will be like, he's crazy. But, I just got to meet Amma twice, just 2 times, very briefly as Amma was passing by. But then I contracted dengue fever in a few days. And because I had dengue fever, I was asked to quarantine in some room, some place. And now I'm quarantining, and when Amma found out I have dengue, for the next 5 or 6 days, Amma would call me twice every day, ask me whether I'm doing okay, and she would talk to me for some time. Sometime it would be in middle of the night at 3 a.m., sometimes it would be at 1 p.m. at random times. But Amma would call at least twice every day. Now I thought, it's good that I got dengue. And otherwise, I could meet Amma just twice and just very briefly. But when I got dengue, Amma is calling me more regularly, at least twice every day, getting to speak to Amma for a long time every day. So better continue with the dengue fever. So again, coming back to the same point, when you're away, you get remembered all the more. Not that Amma is bound by likes and dislikes. It's just the nature. When you're away, Amma wants you to feel okay, because if she wants you to feel okay, she'll call you or remember you all the more. Similarly, Rama says, "You're dear to me like my brothers." So instead of referring to Lakshmana, he says, "You're dear to me like Bharata." So, "Tuma mama priya Bharata hi sam bhai." And then he says, "Sahas badan tumharo jas gave." Let innumerable number or thousands of mouths or faces sing your praise. So let 1,000 mouths praise you. Like Amma says, Amma sees only goodness in each one of us. So Amma doesn't need to praise or reprimand us. If at all she has to do it, it should be only if it is good for us. Amma would, scold us, reprimand us, or sometimes even praise us, sometimes to encourage us in case we are completely bogged down. Amma sometimes does that. So a guru would always do that to let you grow spiritually, be it reprimanding you, scolding you, or be it to encourage you. But I've seen, though Amma is beyond praising you, etc., when Amma hears someone praise you for an inspiring quality, it is very evident that Amma becomes very happy and joyful. Amma actually mentions, Amma feels very happy when Amma hears Amma's devotees come to Amma and say that this Swami or this Brahmachari did this action which was so inspiring, so selfless in nature. We were so inspired by it. Amma says Amma feels very happy with that. When Amma hears someone else says they got inspired by you. So, many times Amma has always mentioned to me, our conduct should be such that we become deserving of people's praise, or we become inspirational to others. So when Lord Rama says, "Sahas badan tumharo jas gave," 1,000 mouths sing your praises, it basically means Hanuman became deserving of that he could get praised by numerous people. So as spiritual aspirant, the takeaway here is we should be such, our words, our thoughts, our actions should be such that it is full of patience, understanding, acceptance, awareness, humility, love, compassion, etc., etc. All these qualities should be our actions, words, and deeds, thoughts should be full of these qualities. Automatically what happens? Numerous people will praise us. Not praise us for our wealth, our talents, our achievements, for our possessions, but they should praise us for our character. They should praise us for who we are. That's what a spiritual aspirant should aspire to. Not that, and such praises don't bring us ego, because they come out of good qualities, they lead us towards good qualities. So sahas badan tumharo jas gave is verily this very point. And then as kahi Shripati kanth lagave. Saying so, Lord Rama just embraces Hanuman, gives him a tight embrace. And here the embrace is highlighted because Lord Rama did not embrace too many people through the course of Ramayana. The few embraces that he did, they got highlighted, and Hanuman had it a few number of times for his good deed. Talking about that, we are so blessed that we have a guru, whether we do good deed or not. Every time we meet Amma, we get embraced by Amma. So we should definitely value that. Never take Amma's embrace for granted, but let us appreciate how important embrace is, and which someone like Hanuman, who reached the ultimate state, spiritual state, got it from Rama. And us, doing nothing, we get embraced by a realized master. So let us appreciate that, and let us take a message that we need to live up to Amma's message. Let us not let Amma's embrace go waste. Let us not let it be not fruitful. Let us live up to that. And when Amma is asked, how is Amma able to sit for hours embracing people one after the other? Thinking about Amma embracing each person, I would say when Amma embraces each person, takes them onto her shoulder, easily she is taking about 40 to 50 pounds upon her. And this she does at least a few thousand times every day. And if you think about lifting a dumbbell, which is about 20 pounds, how many times can we do it every day? And Amma is lifting 40 to 50 pounds dumbbell a few thousand times every day. If you consider the whole body weight, it would be much higher. So when we are kneeling in front of Amma and Amma is pulling us towards her, she's easily taking at least 40 to 50 pounds upon her. So Amma does that every day. So that has taken toll on Amma. Amma's wrist joints, neck joints, hip joints, backbone, everything is, worn out because of almost 50 years of darshan that Amma gives, the monotonous action that Amma does. So in spite of all these, how are you able to do it so joyfully is a question many people ask, especially people who come to interview Amma. And Amma says, Amma sees Amma in everyone, and Amma sees everyone in Amma. There is only oneness. And when there is oneness, there is no pain, there is no strain. So when there is oneness, it just becomes very easy to do. So embrace that way represents that oneness, becoming one with the divine. Amma realizes that, we don't. That's the only difference when the hug happens. Amma hugs us with the feeling of oneness. We are yet to get to that state. And also embrace represents what? To accept anyone and everyone, irrespective of who they are, what their background is, what their faith, their caste, their tradition, be their language, nationality, whatever be it, I will just accept them. So hug or a embrace represents that acceptance, unconditional acceptance. So talking about embrace, be it with Amma or in this case Lord Rama, that he embraces Hanuman, it represents that very point, to embrace someone, to become one with. There is no duality, there is only singularity, there is only oneness there, Advaita, non-duality. So that's about embrace. So these are the four things that we discussed. Lord Rama, when Hanuman brought the Sanjeevani, Lord Rama hugged him and showered praises upon Hanuman and told him, "You are as dear to me like my brother Bharata," and again embraced him. So that's what these three verses are pointing out. So that would be the discussion associated with these three verses. I just wanted to share a couple of fun facts because we are talking about geography here. Hanuman goes north of India, brings a big chunk of a mountain, brings it down to Sri Lanka. So we should see some sign of it. So this happened thousands of years ago. So the Dronagiri, where Hanuman got the herbs from, happens to be in the Himalayan ranges in the state of Uttaranchal, north of India. So there is still a place where people go to pay their respects, to revere Hanuman. This is, and there's a it says this is where Hanuman got the Sanjeevani, the herbs from, or rather the mountain from. And it seems, you look at it, the geographical layout of the region, there is a trough there, as if a huge landslide happened many years ago, and then there is a trough in midst of all the mountains there. So it points out to how Hanuman just lifted that mountain. Maybe there was a landslide thereafter. An unrest is definitely, you're lifting a mountain. So there is an unrest that would be created. So I thought that was a fun fact I should share with you. So even today in the state of Uttaranchal, people go and visit that place where there is this trough, which happened to be the place where Dronagiri was. The mountain was just uprooted by Hanuman. And on the Sri Lankan side, in the southern part of Sri Lanka is the district of Gal, or in the local language, I guess it is pronounced as Gali or Gali. I may be wrong in the way I'm pronouncing it. So it's Gali or Gal, keeping the American pronunciation. So the southern district of Gal has a town, a coastal town called Unnavatunna. I'm again not sure that I'm pronouncing it right, the Sri Lankan way of pronouncing it. I may be wrong in pronouncing it, but my understanding from all my reading is it is pronounced as Unnavatunna, or some pronounce it as Unnavatuna. In any case, in this coastal town is a mountain called Ramasala. Ramasala. Again, I don't know whether I'm pronouncing it right. Somewhere I see they pronounce it as Ramasala. Basically, it has the term Rama in it, so I'm a bit convinced. So Ramasala is this mountain, and based on studies performed there, that mountain is kind of a little peculiar in terms of the vegetation there. It's like a misfit in the sense, it's not like how is it around. So the vegetation, the soil, the kind of stone and rocks it has, the birds, the animals, the insects there, they are all a little peculiar for that geographical region. Again, it points to that it was placed there from a foreign land. Back then there were no customs, etc. So Hanuman could just bring them in. It's not going to affect customs. They're so worried about how the vegetation, the flora, fauna of the land should not get affected. And it seems there was this renowned English science writer called Arthur C. Clarke, who wrote about this very mountain, the Ramasala. He says the magnetic properties of that region or that mountain is there's an anomaly compared to the surrounding. And this anomaly comes usually when there is a meteor strike, something that comes and falls in a great force. So the belief, as per the Ramayana part of it, is that some part of the Dronagiri fell there. So it definitely fell with a force. It's like a meteor strike. And so even this points out to that, how the magnetic property of that is, there's an anomaly in that. There is a difference which is not consistent with the geographical region. So I thought these two are good fun facts to share with you, so that we, kind of get our, wrap our head around the whole thing of bringing a mountain from one country to the other country, not getting caught by customs. In any case, I thought I should share that. And in the Ramasala mountain, there is a shrine of Hanuman, which people go and pay their respects to Hanuman there. That is the picture we have. You showed the picture of Hanuman, right? The shrine, you showed it? Okay, so I thought I'll share that fun fact. We are 4 minutes beyond 8:30, but I thought the fun fact was worth sharing. So we'll conclude the discussion here. We will now sing the Hanuman Chalisa. Give us a couple of minutes. We'll set up the mic and start. Om Amriteshwariyai Namah. श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधारि बरना रघुबर बिमल जसु जो दायक फल चारि बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरा पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेस विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराज कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजय। शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन, तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन। विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर, राम काज करिबे को आतुर। प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया, राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। सिया राम सिया राम सिया राम सिया राम, जय हनुमान। सिया राम सिया राम सिया राम सिया राम, जय हनुमान। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा, विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे, रामचंद्र के काज सवारे। लाय संजीवन लखन जियाए, श्री रघुबीर हर्षि उर लाए। रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बढ़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय भरतहि सम भाई। सहस बदन तुम्हरो जस गावै, हस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावै। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा, नारद सारद सहित अहीसा। जम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते, कभी कोविद कहि सकै कहाते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा, राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा। सिया राम सिया राम सिया राम सिया राम, जय हनुमान। सिया राम सिया राम सिया राम सिया राम, जय हनुमान। तुम्हारो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। युग सहस्र जो जन पर भानु, लील्योताहि मधुर फल जाना। प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माहि, जलधि लांघि गए अचर जनाहि। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे। सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी सरना, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपन तेज सम्हारो आपै, तीनों लोक हाँकते कापै। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवै, महावीर जब नाम सुनावै। सिया राम सिया राम सिया राम सिया राम, जय हनुमान। सिया राम सिया राम सिया राम सिया राम, जय हनुमान। आसे रोग हरै सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा। संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावै, मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावै। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावै, सोई अमित जीवन फल पावै। चारों जुग परताप तुम्हारा, है परिसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नौ निधि के दाता, असवर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा, सदा रहा रघुपति के दासा। सिया राम सिया राम सिया राम सिया राम, जय हनुमान। सिया राम सिया राम सिया राम सिया राम, जय हनुमान। तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल रघुवरपुर जाय, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाय। और देवता चित्त न धरई, हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई। संकट कटै मिटै सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई। जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई, छूटहि बंधि महासुख होई। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होय सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, कीजे नाथ हृदय मह डेरा। कीजे नाथ हृदय मह डेरा। पवन तनय संकट हरन, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसहु सुरभूप। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। ओ माता सीता की जय, ओ माता सीता की जय। ओ भ्राता लक्ष्मण की जय, ओ भ्राता लक्ष्मण की जय। भरत और शत्रुघ्न की जय, भरत और शत्रुघ्न की जय। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु, लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु, लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम।